Boo!
Did you see Kirsty's face? Did you see Kirsty's Hey guys, welcome back to the Heel Podcast. We are back with our wrestling content stuff, and it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's June as well. So this is the 1 year anniversary of our podcast, isn't it?
Yeah? We'll go with yeah. Yeah!
I'm pretty sure our first podcast was in June, and it was our first ever proper video, wasn't it? So it's our 1 year anniversary.
Me and
one looks really, really bad.
Lincoln Peter put up with me for a year. Yay! Also, yeah, the videos look awful. I'll show it now.
They're getting better.
Awful.
They're getting better.
Dreadful. So we've obviously sort of the main show over the weekend, lads, was Hell in a Cell, but we will jump back a little bit.
Well, actually, yeah, no, the main show was Friday, Hell in a Cell, wasn't it?
It was SmackDown. Yeah, as we said on our predictions, but we will just sort of jump back into May. We'll jump back into May very briefly for AEW Double or Nothing. Pete, did you watch it? No, I didn't watch it.
Not seen a thing.
But it's just worth sort of mentioning the results. I'll just go through the main shows. Adam Page,
watched it.
You did? Oh, well,
I did.
People just sort of assume that you watch it, mate, because that's all you watch is the wrestling or the F1. or random super streams that me and Pete are doing on our Twitch.
Also true.
Adam Page beat Brian Cage. That's like a nursery rhyme there somewhere.
He did. Yeah, it was
in exactly 12 minutes.
It was just an extension of the whole Brian Cage going out and slowly becoming a baby face and leaving Team Taz, because that's what's essentially happening. It's just not quite there yet. So this was just an extension of that.
Fair.
But it was good. It was a very good match, and I think it was Cage raised Page's hand at the end of the match to say well done to him, or shook his hand. There was some sort of mutual respect by the end of it.
Good. That's one way to sort of take him back into face sort of territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Young Bucks then defended their title against the Bomb Brothers of John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Sorry, I had to.
What a name!
I had to jump in with that one.
Right, I'm gonna flat out say here as well. I don't like the Young Bucks. Never liked the Young Bucks. Don't like their style. Don't like anything. I enjoyed this match.
And to be fair,
I enjoyed this match.
On paper, I'd rather Young Bucks had it than Moxley and Kingston. To be fair,
but it wasn't even that. I enjoyed this match because the team of Moxley and Kingston slowed the Bucks down and wrestled at their pace, which slowed the whole pace of the entire match down, and it made a lot more sense. It was so much more fun to watch. I can't deal with the Young Bucks with their 7,000 finishes and flip out of everything and
everything.
They're one of the reasons I don't watch it. I just can't stomach watching them constantly.
Yeah, I mean they're not as bad as the person we're probably about to go on to actually, but for
wow, what did Jungle Boy do to you?
I was a Jungle Boy next. Okay.
Poor Jungle Boy. I know who you're on about. Jungle Boy won the Casino Battle Royale for a future World Championship shot. I mean,
he did.
Cool.
He did. Eliminated Christian last.
He did.
It was fun.
He did. I've got to have that one down. Cool.
Yeah, Battle Royals always fun to watch. The Casino Battle Royal is a very interesting thing because they come out in suits and then there's a Joker at the end, which was Leo Rush making his one and only ever appearance in AEW. He's now retired.
Oh, yeah. This will be his second or third retirement out of his 8th or 9 retirements that he'll do in his career.
Quite possibly.
I'm digging and dogging.
His retirement was quite interesting actually because he cited the fact that he gets injured while wrestling and that it hurts essentially, and it's like, well, yeah, you've been doing this for a while. How did you not already know that wrestling's a painful?
You can get hurt.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's yeah.
But yeah, he's to be honest with you, I think it may have something to do with the fact that Mark Henry also signed to the company on the same night. and Mark Henry and Leo Rush famously had their arguments through Twitter when they were both with WWE, or just as Leo Rush left the WWE. So that may have something to do with this.
So you're saying he's scared?
Well, possibly, but I mean, he's not cancelled all his upcoming appointments with New Japan. He's just said he's retired from wrestling and he's going to finish out his contract.
Yeah, you can't. So, you don't really need to retire and then say you're retired and then carry on wrestling.
Exactly.
He said the word retired. I am now retired. Well, no. You're retiring. You're not retired.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to be in AEW. I think that was something to do with it. I genuinely think it was something to do with the fact that Mark Henry signed the same night, but that's just one man's opinion.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. I'm sure we'll probably see him back in some company. That would be my guess. But I mean, Jungle Boy winning, I like that on paper. The fact that Jungle Boy's got the chance for a shot, and also the fact that the last person he eliminated was Christian. I think it's a good way to do it.
I'm pretty sure he lost anyway. I'm pretty sure it's already happened now.
I do like they give him a bit of a push.
I'm pretty sure that match has happened now.
Oh, has it? But even still, the way there's a good push by making him eliminate Christian last.
Yeah.
So fair play.
I mean, Christian's in the right position there, putting over the younger talent, trying to get them to look good. Jungle Boy is a future star, but he's quite small. I don't know if I want to see him around the heavyweight division. I'd rather see him in the X division, not X division, but the TNT title.
Well, he's only still
the middleweight sort
24 as well. So yeah,
he is still very young, so he could still bulk up and become a heavyweight.
But also, he could just not even bulk up. He could just find a way round that whole thing of him being so small. I mean, Ray sort of level, but obviously, I mean, Ray probably shouldn't have won it, but
he shouldn't. That's not debatable. He shouldn't have won it ever. But
then we had one that you obviously you actually praised this person in the next match. We had Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo.
Well, I didn't praise Cody Rhodes. I can assure you of that.
You did not.
Anthony Ogogo is looking fantastic. Like his wrestling ability was quite good. His promos have been brilliant all the way through. I think he's done really well. I think he's definitely taken to pro wrestling like a duck to water. Cody Rhodes, as usual, putting himself over, making himself the big man, making himself the important thing on the roster, and just doing everything that he probably shouldn't do, turning himself into the next, what he would class as Triple H, burying everybody. So, I'm sorry. And I personally liked Cody Rhodes. I genuinely liked Cody Rhodes. I thought he was a great wrestler. I think he'd got oodles of potential, still has. It's just I'm not enjoying the way that he's essentially booking himself
I love
the most important thing ever, having the big extravagant entrance and the constant references to being better than Triple H, but at the same time just doing everything that Triple H did that everybody hated. And it's like, well, where's the logic?
Yeah, I love the fact with Cody that like there is obviously a genuine love for the industry. Have you heard his story about? I think that was on the over the rope interview sort of things they do. You know the meet
inside the ropes,
not over the ropes. Sorry, and with his story about Undertaker at the Royal Rumble, like you could see the genuine joy on his face. Like when he looked around. I think the story goes he looked around and there was the Undertaker, so he just smacked him stiffed him on the back of his head.
I think I have heard that one,
Undertaker turned round. Undertaker grabs him, and then he grabs him, and he goes, "Drop kick me," and then Cody's face is, and like you can see, there's like genuine joy from Cody of him retelling that story about how good that debut Rumble was for him. He got to take on Taker. So that's one thing I always enjoy about Cody. But if we can get away from this God complex,
have you heard the other story from Cody? The one about Ted DiBiase Jr.
I don't think so.
So Ted DiBiase Jr. was in a match and he got fast counted by a referee, or he thought he'd been fast counted by a referee. So Ted DiBiase Jr. ran backstage, went up to the officials in the gorilla position, and went, "Where's that referee? He was trying to f*** on me."
Miro defended against Lance Archer then. That
was a great match.
TNT?
That was a great match. Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect it not to be a good match. They're both great wrestlers.
Shortest match of the night.
They're both great. I mean, they're both big, hard-hitting dudes. Like, it's, they're not big stamina machines. They're not going to go forever. But great match. I enjoyed it. Miro's probably right to have won, although I prefer Lance Archer a little bit. So
well, we now have our own little personal gripes with Miro, don't we? That he's just a bit of an ass.
Not a very good streamer.
He's just not. He's just a horrible human being.
Just rude.
rude, properly rude. Britt Baker, new champion. Thank goodness.
Should have been the champion all along. Absolutely, 100% should have been the champion from the start of the division.
I didn't even know who Hikaru Shida really was. Obviously,
I don't think anybody did, mate. Apart from Kenny Omega. But again, that's down to Kenny just booking every woman from Japan that he fancies. I genuinely like. It's just,
which is impressive if the rumors are believed are true.
The women's division on AEW has been pretty terrible. And Britt Baker is probably a shining light with a terrible division. So hopefully she can pull it around and maybe get some better women in there and have something interesting, you know? Actually have story-driven matches for a change rather than trying to just put on shows that are just match. And it's just like, yeah, it's great, but no one cares.
Stories that ain't done the dentist, though.
Well, yeah.
That was my first insight of AEW, realistically, when we were together.
DMD.
That's the first thing I say. Anyone raised a Britt Baker, and I just can't forget out of my head. She's done really well.
Like I say, we found out afterwards though that was done because of the fact she was still injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it was to cover the fact that she was injured and couldn't have a proper match. So it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Darby Allin and Sting defeated Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Anything to...
Sting's first actual match in like 5 years, 6 years.
Was that a proper match? That wasn't
Yeah, that was a proper match, not a cinematic.
And apparently he held his own quite well, considering his age.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he did bad. I wouldn't say any of them did bad. It is what it is.
Probably,
you know,
for Sting wise, it's probably quite a good idea to stick him alongside Darby Allin, isn't it? Because he can take a lot of the.
You say that, but the following week on I was going to say Impact then. The following week on Dynamite, Darby Allin turned around to Sting and said, "Stay home because I want to have a match with them 2-on-1 in a handicap match on my own." Okay. I don't know what they're doing. It's weird, but yeah, that's what happened there. So the thing is, I like Sting. I've got no issues with Sting. I've got no issue with him wrestling again. He's not bad in the ring, but you know the guy's been out of the ring for 6 years. He's 50-something years old, and you know if this was in WWE, everyone would be like, "Oh, you're still bringing back old people." So again, it strikes of hypocriticism, and it bugs me like that sort of level of mentality. I enjoy the legend spots in WWE, and I enjoy the legend spots in AEW. So I'm absolutely fine with it. I just wanted to point out the hypocriticism. That word is not going to come to me.
The scary thing is, Sting's 62.
Hypocrisy. Is he 62? Jesus, I thought he was in late 50s. I thought he was like mid 50s.
No, he's 62.
See, the thing is with Sting, I don't mind seeing him on the card. He's one of those few wrestlers that sort of that age that are still sort of wrestling that I have no opinion of either way. Like, he's not one I particularly dislike. He's not particularly one I love. It's just, yeah.
I just feel
he's
bad.
He's there for me, you know. But I fully respect it for still wrestling.
I feel bad as a guy in his 60s still doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, you say he's still doing it. He hasn't been. Like, this is the thing. Yeah. This is the first time he's done it in his 60s, and he's just 62. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, 6 years out of the ring in your 60s. That's you're going to get some ring rust. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, by all accounts, he didn't do too bad. So.
No, he didn't, and they are keeping him protected with tag team matches as well, which is
good way to do it.
A smart thing.
Good way to do it. It's the sort of thing I wanted to see Taker and Kane do, but not against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I would have liked to have seen Brothers of Destruction like doing their little thing just from time to time as like, I don't know, a bit like Sting, so like authority things. So teams were kicking up a fuss and beating people down, then we'd end up with Kane and Undertaker just appearing from sort of nowhere to sort of come and save the day. And I thought that would have been a good job for them. But I mean, it's a good way to do it with Sting. Good way to do it. And to complete the chief executives' wins for that night means all of the executives of AEW won because Kenny Omega defeated Orange Cassidy and Pac.
EVP, Executive Vice Presidents.
Is that what they are? I wasn't sure. I knew they were execs, but yeah. But yeah, so all of them won. I'm not particularly over on that part of it.
All they need now is Brandy Rhodes to drop this baby that's getting more hype on their television show than their actual wrestlers, and then come back and win the women's title. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So speaking of Brandy Rhodes, they did a photo shoot the other day. Maybe a week or so back now. I remember seeing it, and it's all their top stars. So they've got a bunch of people. Tony Khan stood in the middle. Brandy Rhodes is on the picture. There's no other women in the picture. They haven't got Britt Baker. They've got Brandy Rhodes stood there, heavily pregnant. Brandy Rhodes stood there. This is their best of the best wrestlers in their business. They've got Brandy Rhodes.
It's weird, so weird.
Yeah, it's just that it's nepotism, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really, really bad in AEW, and it bugs me.
It's I've said before, it's sort of there's certainly signs of it that sort of, I don't know, reek of WCW at times, and it's not necessarily all the good things of it at WCW. It's quite a lot of the bad things of WCW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, ultimately, it was the finances for WCW that killed that show. The contract was ridiculous. So if AEW can avoid that, then that probably will be all right.
Well, apparently, then this came out this week that AEW are now in the black, and they are earning money.
Oh,
or in the red even. I don't know, one of the other.
Because they were losing money from the game.
I would have thought. I'd have said in the black.
Apparently, they're now making money. The game is the biggest loss that they've made. It's been over 7 figures. Oh, 8 figures. Sorry. So over 10 million has been spent on the game.
But now they're making money again.
Yeah, apparently so. First time since they opened that they've actually started making money.
Fair.
I know
most
it's come
of
out
the time
the tickets.
I think it's
come out the tickets wise. They're selling a lot faster than WWE at the minute.
Can't say I'm surprised.
No, it's their target audience is a different target audience. WWE are more aimed at younger kids, whereas the AEW is sort of aimed at teenagers to 18 to 20s, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and I mean with COVID as well, their peak sort of time, they didn't have that chance to sort of when it was all nice and shiny, and they've managed to keep it all sort of feeling as like nice and shiny, so people are still wanting to buy these tickets like way more than anywhere else. That's all.
I think the big thing for AEW with COVID and stuff as well is they're not a publicly traded company, so they didn't have quite the same amount of enforced strategies or whatever that WWE had put on them.
They had to, yeah.
So it was, they got away with a lot there.
And then we will come back in to the wrestling itself. The main event, the Inner Circle defeated the Pinnacle. So we had Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz defeating Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, MJF, Sean Spears, and Wardlow with Tully Blanchard.
I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed this match. It was just it was a bit mental. Like there's bits and bobs everywhere. So at the start they rappelled down the scoreboard.
Which stadium was this?
The one they always use.
Yeah.
Is the.
It's actually in a stadium, isn't it?
I assumed it would have been.
Yeah. It's all connected to the thing. So Daly's Place is literally the side of the stadium itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they rappelled down the scoreboard. First of all, the Inner Circle did, and apparently it came out afterwards that they wanted to rappel out of a helicopter, and Sammy Guevara was going to jump out of the helicopter and be caught by people, but they wouldn't. The insurance wouldn't clear it, so that's why there's no helicopter involved.
No way! Jesus, in America they actually use their brains. I am shocked and appalled.
Well, I mean, just the fact that Sammy Guevara was essentially planning to jump out of a helicopter onto people, like it's just.
No.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they'd have let that happen though? Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't even. They can't even. No, I'm not even going about fireworks. Don't worry.
But it continued to get crazy anyway because we got guys like Conan was involved at one point in the match. There was all sorts of just mental spots. There was a room full of chairs, obviously like fold-away chairs that you have for the stadium, I guess. I don't know. And Sean Spears, who's known as the chairman, was sat in there at one point, and they had like a weird battle between Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara. It was really fun to watch. They shot it in like almost a Matrix style thing with the cameras all the way around it. So it kind of went slow motion. It was clever. I'm trying to think of other spots that sort of stand out to me.
I mean, on that match itself, whilst you're thinking, it was that was also had the stipulation if the Inner Circle had a loss, they would have been forced to disband. So I mean, it's no surprise that they won.
I'll be honest, I thought they were going to lose.
Really?
I thought they were going to disband. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that maybe they'd thought that stable had ran its course and it was time to let it go.
They love a stable. They love a stable in AEW.
They do love a stable in AEW.
It was one of the things I said a few months ago. It's a little bit overcrowded. Like everyone must have their own stable. It's just like prison warfare. It's bizarre.
I like the stables.
I know Jericho goes out soon because he's just today. I've seen the advert for it. I've just had the
tour.
He's just announced the world tour and he's coming over to London.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me though if it coincides with when AEW.
But yeah, he's doing a world tour, so he's going to be taking a bit of time out, maybe. Unless, like you said, unless they do the tour and he does certain days for them around the same time.
Sorry.
One thing I've just quickly noticed on that one as well, probably the last thing we'll sort of go over, before your final thoughts, Link. Christian actually got the most eliminations in that Battle Royale as well.
Yeah, he made it. He made it like he was the focal point throughout most of it. So
he came in as one of the first lot. So
yeah, he was one of the focal points throughout the whole thing. You know, of the people that were in. So it makes sense that he did a lot of eliminations. Yeah. I would say because obviously behind the scenes there's normally one person that sort of calls all the spots and books the match inside the match. I'd say Christian was that guy for this match.
You think the amount of experience, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Just Jesus Christ! I've just seen that Evan Bourne got eliminated first. Obviously, Matt Sydal.
Did he do it himself?
He had no eliminations. Obviously, no eliminations. Eliminated first.
Can I just point out as well?
Time.
The Acclaimed are probably the best thing in AEW right now.
What's the Acclaimed?
The Acclaimed are a tag team of Max Caster and the other guy. I can't remember his name. Sorry, but he's a rapper. So during those entrants, he comes out and he'll just take the
Anthony Bowens.
Okay, but he'll rip his opponents apart, like verbally just take the Michael, and he'll absolutely destroy them with some of his comments, including Marks, your wife keeps calling me for some oral sessions. You know, it's just like, whoo. There's some pretty fantastic stuff going on. But they are brilliant. They are really good.
Fair play.
Really, really good. I highly recommend watching the Acclaimed.
Final thoughts though on the pay per view itself back in May.
I enjoyed it. I genuinely. I remember speaking to you all the next day and saying, you know, it was actually a really good pay per view.
You did.
I enjoyed the whole thing. Yeah.
A lot of people raving and saying it was the best one they've seen.
And I'm not going to go as far as saying anything's the best ever, to be honest with you. Because
no, the best AEW pay per view that they've seen. A lot of people were really bigging it up again.
I mean,
there was a couple of
you can do that sort of thing
there?
when they've only had as few as they have of all time. So yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at the moment it probably was, but at the moment, the one that I watched 6 months ago probably was. You know, it's when you're in that moment, it's easy to say, "Oh, this was the best." when you look at things in hindsight and you see them with the other ones, it's like, is it? Like, to be honest with you, it's not something I could make a choice of which one was better than which one. So
yeah, I get.
I'm not going to put my 2 pence in on that argument.
Fair. And then we shall move on then in that case to NXT Takeover in Your House. I wasn't available for the watch along, but we had our friend Kirsty fill in for me for the actual watch along over on our Twitch.
We did.
Pete, you were in this. You watched this one, so you can actually talk with this one about a bit more. I've still not watched this one. I've still not gone back and watched it. Looking at the card, I don't. Look at the results. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna lose any sleep if I don't.
I was looking forward to it.
You were looking forward to it.
You were?
Yeah.
I remember you looking
The
forward
thing
to it.
is, I always look forward to an NXT show. I mean, just on paper though, the actual results, the way it finished, it makes very little difference. So what we ended up with, we started off. I'll go through the main show itself again. So Bronson Reed tagged with MSK to defeat Legado del Fantasma, which is Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. And that was for the North American Championship and the NXT Tag Team Championship. Winner takes all, which I quite like. I like that one. That's a good little added thing that I've not seen for.
It was a fun match.
Quite a long time.
The wrong team won.
They did.
Yeah.
I've actually thought it definitely did needed to go over. All 3 belts needed to go over.
Yeah, like I'm bored of MGK, whatever the hell they're called.
MSK. Not Machine Gun Kelly. You do this all the time.
Yeah.
MSK.
Okay, well I'm bored of them. They can
Bronson
bugger
Reed.
off.
Screw you, Machine Gun Kelly.
Bronson Reed ain't got the push, though. The fans haven't got behind. Well, I've said this. The fans don't seem to have got behind him. The way they thought they were going to.
Apparently, Bronson Reed's one of the 2 that's in line for a call-up anytime as well.
You'd see that. They rate him a lot higher than the NXT fans.
Karrion Kross being the other one. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
I know, let's just pull up the 2 main champions. Huh?
The thing is, I could really see him get over the fans on the main roster more than the fans on the NXT fans at the minute.
Maybe. What are you going to do with him?
What you gonna do, brother?
He's not a particularly big dude. He's not as agile as like a Keith Lee. He's I'm sorry, but for me, you've got guys that fill that spot that he's in, and I don't.
Do you know where I could see him ending up being? Obviously, he's been released. He's been released now, but I could see him ending up in a position where Tucker was in.
Well, to be honest with you, mate, that's the exact position he will be in.
Yeah.
Released.
Well,
I don't think he belongs. Sorry, I know that sounds harsh, but I don't see a future for Bronson Reed.
Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you had Zia Lee. I don't remember which way around that one is. Zia Lee, isn't it? Defeated Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, Zia Lee.
Zaya,
Okay.
is it? Not Zia.
Zia. Yeah, I was like, the hell are you saying? Yeah, it's Zia
it
Lee.
was so different, wasn't it?
I couldn't figure out what you were saying. Yeah, it's Zia Lee. I don't remember anything about this match.
Pete?
You don't remember the weird, almost Bray Wyatt?
Oh, that was after the match, wasn't it? Where she tried to kill him. The weird ancient Chinese woman that sits on the throne on the ramp.
Do you know what we're on
Choke her out.
It's very Bray Wyatt-ish.
Yeah, it's a strange gimmick. I don't know what's happening.
I have
with
no
it,
idea.
I didn't think it was a bad match to be fair. We called it was going to happen. It was quite obvious.
Yeah, obviously. Mercedes again is also rumored to be on the short list for a call up, which will be her second call up to the main roster.
Did
she come up on the first one? Did she on the one with?
She was part of Retribution at first.
Oh, of course she was. Yes.
Because
I
there
was
was
thinking
big
earlier than
rumours
that,
it
but
was
she
going
wasn't
to
in
be Harold Piper Niven going to be working with Even Ray.
Yeah, and there's every chance it'll be both. Because
that'd be a weird little stable.
I said from the day we found out that Eva Marie was coming back that she'd be coming back and managing a stable of some description.
Oh yeah, I don't think I'd necessarily want her managing. I don't think I necessarily want her wrestling. Should I say? Sorry.
No.
Unless she's got superbly better. I'm not interested.
Well, what they did on Raw this week was quite funny because it was obviously advertised as Naomi versus Eva Marie, wasn't it, as a one-on-one match?
Right.
And according to the record books, it was Eva Marie won that match, but Eva Marie never got in the ring. So Eva Marie came out with Dewdrop, which apparently is going to be her name.
Who's that?
Piper Niven.
New name.
Viper.
Oh wow, we just
from NXT UK. Yeah,
it's close.
Yeah.
There's close to words there that I'm not particularly.
Okay. Well, anyway, and basically after the match, they were like, "Here is your winner," and then no one knew what to call us because apparently no one knew who this woman was, which is crazy considering she's been on NXT UK for a while.
Yeah.
But no one knew who she was, so just the commentators obviously don't watch NXT UK, which means why should we bother? Eva Marie basically got the mic at the end and went, "Here's your winner, Eva Marie." It's like, okay. So it's like all of her stable as such are just going to be called Eva Marie, which is kind of weird. But it's
Eva Marie 1, Eva Marie 2.
Just Eva Marie. Just Eva Marie.
That way, Eva Marie's always going to win.
Yeah, essentially that's the plan by the looks of it. I mean, if you remember as well, during the promos and things that were coming out before, she was saying it was an evolution. It wasn't, which to me just rang that it was going to be some sort of stable and not a line in the sand.
I mean, yeah.
But so Gonzalez might be going up. Is not Gonzalez.
Martinez
might be going up. Yeah.
LA Knight's won his first championship.
Well, has he
already?
Has he?
Says that's what it says for the vacant $1 million championship. What's happened since then?
Yeah, I guess he has. I don't know. I don't know whether people actually recognise the $1 million title as an actual title, but yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
That was a good match, to be fair.
I enjoyed the match. Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the gimmick. I enjoy LA Knight. I enjoy
what I've seen.
Cameron Grimes. So, obviously, I kind of thought Cameron Grimes was going to win it. Pete predicted LA Knight to win. LA Knight the next night on NXT said, "I've got what I wanted. Now I've got to drop the dead weight," and punched Ted DiBiase in the face. So he's turned himself completely heel now. So
okay.
Because they're going to carry on this story. They're going to carry on the storyline now, and it's going to be Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes going to get the belt back.
Yeah, essentially. And also, it meant that Ted DiBiase, who has been wrestling since like the 70s, maybe even the 60s, took a bump this week or last week, which is absolutely insane. Like that guy.
I remember him when they came up. Obviously, they really they weren't going to do. They were when he came up when he was back for the Legends night. They made sure he was protected because it's like, nope, you're going to buy the championship off of Alundra Blaze, but it's not. What's her
Alundra Blaze, Medusa.
Medusa.
Well, they also done it when the gimmick battle royal when IRS won it, and $1 Million Man's music come out, and he came out and he gave IRS the money. To step out the ring.
Yeah, but he took the bump.
Yeah, so he said he got a nasty back injury a few years ago now, and that's what stops him wrestling in like doing the old shows and stuff like that. But fair play to him.
Maybe he's recovered. Yeah, maybe he's had the healing at last, and
maybe he's been with his been with his son. His son's got his summer camps, and they do lots of good exercise stuff, don't they? So you never know. You never know. Then we had Raquel Gonzalez defeating Ember Moon for the
predictable
retainer.
Very predictable.
We all knew that.
Yeah.
Too dominating to lose it so early, wouldn't it?
What gave it away as What gave that away as well when Shotzi came down and we realised that Shotzi wasn't as injured as we thought.
Yeah, because obviously if Shotzi was injured, there was a chance they'd give it to Ember because obviously she'd need to go on to a singles push because she couldn't continue as a tag team. But as soon as Shotzi came down, it's like they're going to continue that as a tag team. There's no chance she's winning the belt.
Right, with you. That makes sense.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then we had Karrion Kross defeating Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne.
This was a
Fatal 5-way.
Flustercluck.
No, Flustercook. Very good.
Flustercook.
Was it a good match, or was it just a bit? There was just a bit too much going on all over the shop.
It wasn't a good match.
Well, no.
Sorry, it just wasn't. No.
It wasn't a brilliant one. I enjoyed it just because I picked Karrion Kross and that was what gave me the win.
Yeah.
He gave you the win on the predictions that there was no punishment for. Well done, Pete.
Yeah. This one was a bit of a disappointment. Let's not give him too much with that anyway, Dan, because he did win a different one.
Wow, just give away the result, man.
Yeah, well.
They had to wait another minute and they would have found that out.
Yes.
We're like 30 minutes in, then nobody's listening.
Also, speaking of NXT, there are a few other bits that have happened. So on NXT, since the pay-per-view, we've had things like
the end of the pay-per-view, didn't you?
The end of the pay-per-view with Regal, where he was like, I don't know if I can manage this anymore. It's a big change that happen tomorrow. And then the next night he came out, and as he came out, Karrion Kross came out and was like, "Oh, you pathetic! Why are you crying?" Blah blah blah. And then Samoa Joe came out, which was like, "Oh my God, Samoa Joe!" It wasn't. Everyone knew he was coming. It's been widely reported, which is kind of sad actually, because that would have been a great surprise.
I do hate the era of the internet with wrestling. It ruins everything.
Yeah, it does. But we're as much to blame as anyone. So Samoa Joe came out. And basically, Regal was like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. I want you to be the new GM." And he was like, "I don't want to be the new GM." And he was like, "But what I will do is I'll make sure that people give you the respect you deserve as GM." And then he was like, "Oh, well, if you do this, you'll never be able to compete. You're not a wrestler, and you can only touch people if you're provoked." Then, like 3 segments later, Adam Cole pushed him and he choked Adam Cole out.
Squared up to Karrion Kross straight away.
Squared up Karrion Kross, backed him down out the ring. That's pretty. It's pretty much just introducing the fact that Regal's got a bit of backup now, and it's not just Regal.
Yeah, Regal, because they're all starting to realise that Regal's not as badass as he was. He's getting a bit old.
Yeah, essentially.
Fair.
Also on NXT, obviously we had the stuff with Cameron Grimes, which we already mentioned, and they introduced or said that they will introduce tomorrow night, which will probably be tonight by the time this comes out, on NXT. They'll be introducing the Diamond Mine, which is a new thing being
cryptocurrency.
No, not cryptocurrency. No, they've been advertising it on NXT for weeks, and it'll be debuting tonight, whatever that will be. I have a theory.
There's big rumours.
Like a question.
Yeah, except it's
I have a theory.
I have a theory. It's going to be Bronson Steiner. Is it Bronson Steiner?
Yes.
It's the actual full name.
Yeah.
So
we're convinced he's been named after Charles Bronson.
I think it's not. It must be carried on as a Steiner, but they put him as the full surname, which is Richsteiner or something like that.
Or something. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah. They're not just the Steiners, I forget.
Yeah, so it's Bronson Steiner and also Parker LeBeau, I want to say.
I don't know.
No,
it's the guy that was touted as the next Bordeaux. That's the one. The guy that was touted as the next Brock Lesnar. Okay. Massive dude.
You know what? I don't know if I like it. If it is,
I don't think I'd dislike it.
I really would like to see a bit like what they've done with Brock. Just bring him into the main roster. A bunch of smaller guys, bring him in and just destroy the lot of them.
Yeah, just come out and smash people with chairs.
No, not everybody has to go for NXT. That's the thing.
No, not for NXT. Get him straight on the big show.
Not everybody has to go for NXT.
Yeah. I agree, but like this guy's green as hell. Like he's never wrestled. He's not a wrestler.
Okay.
So he does need the training, you know.
Brock. Brock
obviously Brock went to FCW. Brock went to FCW.
That's
he
the
trained,
thing. Yeah, there is.
you know,
Is there?
Yeah.
We still have something before NXT, don't we now?
No,
well, it's
this
the
is
performance center technically,
Yeah.
But that's yeah,
but it's still part of NXT.
yeah,
so
yeah.
The thing is, we didn't. A lot of people didn't really see Brock. Brock was the first time you see him was when he hit that ring in the main roster. And
exactly.
there was
And that's still the case for a lot of people. You know, NXT isn't as popular as people seem to think it is. You know, NXT's still got pretty low ratings. You know, there's a lot of mainstream fans that don't watch NXT. So their first impression of this guy when he comes to the main roster will be when he comes to the main roster.
I just hope they. I'm a bit worried that they're gonna have these two pairing up and they'll do a DIY kind of thing and they'll get stuck. Just I don't want that to happen because they both look like they're gonna be really good wrestlers.
I think they'll be safe. I genuinely do.
I guess time will tell. Let us know what you think in the comments.
I only hope that Rick Steiner's son is as agile and as inventive with his moveset as Scott Steiner was when he first came in, because that was... Scott Steiner is probably one of the most underrated wrestlers ever.
Just because he'd become a bit of a...
Yeah, essentially.
Big Papa Pump was...
Yeah, no, but that was later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what ruined it. That's what I'm saying. Fully,
Link, you've always mentioned one move.
Oh, the Steiner screwdriver.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Like he lifts them up for a suplex, but instead of doing a suplex, he sort of drops them around and pile drives them. It's a beautiful move. But I mean, Scott Steiner also, you know, the Frankensteiner was his move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he also did the moonsault power slam, which is a beautiful move. Like his moveset was amazing.
I remember watching him back in WCW days, and it was unreal to see someone of his size doing a Frankenstein.
Yeah,
it was absolutely. That was the Rey Mysterio, all them lot kind of stuff. There was no way a man like Scott Steiner should be doing that.
Yeah. Like Scott Steiner
Brian Pillman days.
Scott Steiner was definitely an innovator, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
Fair. I agree with you on that one. So shall we move to something that probably I don't think we're going to cover as much as we normally would do with the pay-per-views, because we how do we summarise our watch along last night, lads?
Boo!
Boo! And it's not because it was bad at all.
I actually quite enjoyed it.
It was not because it was bad at all. Ending for me was a bit. You know how it is.
But you know what it was, mate? I think it's because it was a very long pay-per-view. We was very tired, and it just got to a point where it was like, just.
It was the fact that we ended up with 2 roll-ups and a DQ on a 7-card paper, on a 6-show paper match card.
It's a B card though, wasn't it? It's a B show. It wasn't a main pay-per-view. It was a B show pay-per-view. It was literally just there to continue storylines, and it did the job. You know.
The thing is, I said to you though, on paper, this is one of the strongest pay-per-views I'd seen for a long time. Like you just looking at the wrestlers within that. So Bianca, Bayley, Seth, Cesaro, Bliss, Shayna, Sammy, Kevin.
Stop.
What?
Hold up. Rewind. We've missed something.
What, Natalia and Mandy?
No.
Is it the pay-per-view name?
Well, no, we're on the pay-per-view. Why are we on the pay-per-view? We haven't done SmackDown yet.
I mean,
we completely forgot the whole Roman Reigns and
I'm talking
Rey
about
Mysterio in Hell in a Cell match.
We would have got there. We would have got there.
Well, yeah, but you know, we're on after it.
Yeah.
Talk
about it then. You want to talk about it? Talk about it.
I think we're all a bit confused. I think everybody's a bit confused, to be honest with you, as to why that match was moved on to SmackDown as opposed to just being on the pay-per-view.
It added to my of the ending of the show.
Yeah.
In some aspects.
Like, and another thing I have noticed as well is I've seen reports today apparently that both television companies are actually unhappy with WWE at the moment.
I've seen that. I did see the USA Network were upset.
So Fox is upset because WWE keep plugging Peacock on SmackDown, and Peacock obviously is where they're showing the WWE Network, but Peacock is owned by another network, so it's it's conflict of interest for them to be advertising it on there. And USA Network are upset because they're putting main show quality matches and pay-per-view quality matches on SmackDown, but not on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So basically all they did here was made it worse for themselves. I think it's quite bizarre.
This match was obviously completely predictable. We all knew it'd be Roman winning.
It's a good match, though.
But why take away your biggest star at the minute? Arguably the biggest star. Well, no, it probably is actually what they've got.
Yeah, take him off pay-per-view.
Off for the pay-per-view?
Weird.
Which we all went to, well, something's happening at the end of the main event, Bobby versus Drew. And literally nothing happened. In fact, the exact opposite. There wasn't even a good finish to the match. It was it was a roll up, and it's like, okay, roll up followed by Brock Lesnar appearing. No,
I've got to admit that you worried me with the predictions. When you made you were going through your predictions, and I'd made mine up already, and you mentioned who you think you was going to win that last match. You said, and I thought, oh no, he's got me here, because you said the reason they've moved that Roman match is because Drew's picking up the win, and they want Drew to be the last match. And I thought, it's got a point here. That's why because Roman's always last.
The fact that it was called the last chance thing, it's like, okay, it had just been a match. And obviously, I think you're probably going to be right now, Pete, which is really frustrating for the actual Money in the Bank next month, that I could easily see Drew winning the Money in the Bank now. I think you're probably going to be right on that front.
I still think the draft's probably going to be an issue. And that's probably going to come.
I mean, that'll be the other thing that's going to play into the fact that you'll end up feuding with Roman potentially for a bit.
I checked that, and that's not till September time, which makes me think that was a bit too long. I
mean, he could still pick up the Money in the Bank in the meantime.
Yeah.
Shall we just go through the actual... Obviously, we spoke about SmackDown as such now. We'll go through the Natalya Mandy Rose match. We didn't actually watch on the pre-show, but from what I've seen, actually, on the reports and results and things, we watched it, but none of us actually paid attention to it, sorry.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
That's what I said. We watched it, but nobody really watched it.
It was just.
But I've seen that it was really good reports on actually how good the match actually was.
Yeah, I'm like, submission. It wasn't bad.
I wish I probably paid a bit more attention. I can't remember what we were doing during that.
We were talking about how bad the women's division is.
Yeah. Then we had Bianca versus Bayley, and I think at this point we started to realise, because we were sort of watching we were watching the Thunderdome at the same time.
Ooh.
And we heard everyone, I think it was, boo Bayley. And he goes, boo Bayley, boo. And I thought, okay, fine. But then the next time, all we heard him go was, boo. And it just sounded like a cow mooing at him.
It was an eventful night.
The worst part was, after that, I mimicked it. But then we sat and waited, and as we was talking, we heard like a feedback loop from our stream of ourselves. Obviously, it wasn't on the stream. Like, the stream didn't hear it, but we did. So we heard, and come back every time.
So we would die and laugh, and the stream was just there, probably going.
It probably went on about 6 times, to be fair. We all started laughing, and then I'd just go, boo, again, and it just went on and on. It was a very, very funny moment.
That was the funniest.
It passed a fair bit of time.
That was the funniest thing of the entire show. Easily. And even our mate Jared got involved in it. He even rang me whilst we were on stream. I answered it. Hello, Jared. Boo! Such a dumbass. So good.
It was funny. I'll play
us cracking up to it now, guys.
Boo!
Did you see Kirsty's face? Did you see Kirsty's face?
I was genuinely concerned I was going to die at one point.
Yeah, we were having trouble breathing at one point.
So going back to the actual matches themselves, we predicted obviously all of them except from the pre-show match. We decided we'd then predict the pre-show match on the fly. Thankfully, we did, because I only picked up one win all night. That's what happens when you don't watch wrestling. And sort of let my wife pick one of the results as well.
That was the right
Did
decision.
you realise that was
She
the
picked-
only one Dan got?
She picked right though.
She picked wrong.
She picked right. Bailey should have won.
Bailey should have won, but she didn't. So she picked it wrong. But Natalia obviously got the win, so I got that one right. We then moved in Bianca versus Bailey. Pete got that one with being the only one with Bianca. Surprised. A lot of use of the hair again, and
Oh
weird.
yeah, there was that. There was a
bit I
weird bit
really
where they were
hated.
like hitting each other with a chair and hair, and
There was one that I liked, which was tying her to the rope. That was good. That was a good move. I don't think we've actually seen somebody tie her to the rope.
But there was one bit in there when Bailey had a chair and she went to hit Bianca with a chair. So Bianca counteracted and hit her with with her hair, and that was stronger than a chair.
She tied this. This is the same woman that tied her own hair to someone else's arm.
Yeah.
That's just not clever. I'm sorry, but no.
I do feel like there is becoming sort of, now that she's on the main roster, there's too much focus on the hair. When we was in NXT, it was like, okay, she can wrestle, really wrestle, and then all of a sudden she'll hit you with her hair as well. It's like, whoa, you're really in trouble now.
Yeah.
And now it's like hair. It's just a hair match, and it's like
We spoke before until Mania, she hadn't actually used it, and we were saying, why didn't she use it once or twice? Because until Mania, she hadn't used it at all.
Yeah,
so
now
they-
it's just
all
now
the
it's all
time.
the time.
they're clearly listening to us. So WWE, stop now, yeah.
Just tone it down.
Calm it down.
Tone it down.
Calm it down.
Chill a bit.
Chill out.
Also, hire us.
Or get high with us. Is what I initially thought you said. Get high with us. Yeah, okay. One thing we did like in the actual match, though, was Bailey's back and forth with Michael Cole. We're going to miss that when the crowds go back, I think.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Bailey's fantastic. She carried the WWE
It's
through
something that happened.
the original pandemic
Well, it
era.
was the very first episode with in a empty arena, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
it was the whole thing with, because we ended up with Michael Cole and Triple H on commentary together, didn't we?
Yeah, there was barely anybody there,
It was
there?
mental,
It was
mental.
short staff, and Bailey carried the show. She's carried a lot of the company through.
She's carried a
through
lot,
the pandemic era.
Yeah,
Like, she deserves so much more.
yeah. Seth beat Cesaro. What did we have on that one? Pete only was the only one with Seth as well. Me and Link obviously desperate for Cesaro to pick up a win after doing really well against Roman. He did really well against Roman. They actually built him really well.
I never don't want
Cesaro,
Cesaro to win.
from what I remember, pretty much dominated this match and had Seth. And then Seth got the roll up, and it's like, okay, second on the card, I can probably live with that. Okay, fine.
It's going to carry a storyline on for a bit. Steph took a lot of losses recently.
Yeah.
So they're going to carry it on. A sneaky lucky win.
Is there really much else to add to that one?
Cesaro should win everything.
Bar Link hearing things, and it was definitely the Swiss missile.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, it wasn't just me. So I was on Facebook today, and I looked at the Botchamania page, and Mafu writes out like his plus points and his good and bad points for each pay per view. Yeah, One of his plus points was Pat shouting out
Match 4, one that I've seen a lot of people giving hate for, because a lot of people, a lot of review sites and stuff. Alexa Bliss defeating Shayna Baszler. A lot of these places struggling to get over with the Bliss character at the minute.
just continuation of story.
It's continuation of story. It was kind of weird. I laughed really hard when we just had Bliss shouting at getting Nia Jax to copy her, just shouting at each other.
The thing is, it's long term story building. They're going somewhere. It's obvious they're going to be going for a decent storyline with Bliss and the thing. Let it run. It's worked so far.
I didn't disenjoy this match. I thought it was good, and I said before as well. Like, Alexa Bliss has got such a great range. I said it last night while I was doing it. She's got such a great range with a character now, and she's able to pull off pretty much anything. So I'm a fan.
Yep.
And I'm enjoying it. So I'm
But
if you didn't enjoy it, don't watch it. It's your problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that weren't enjoying it are the people that have the review sites. That's why I was looking at them. The grading, not grading.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was okay. There was no interfering with Reginald this time.
There was, actually. They got Nia to slap him.
Yeah. That sort of interfering. Sami Zayn defeated Kevin. Oh, actually, so I should say that I went Shayna on that one because I'm a mug, and I should have definitely gone Bliss. The other two went Bliss. Yeah, caused me all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Sammy,
He hasn't been able to pee right for a week.
Sammy defeated Kevin Owens.
I felt really bad for Link because Link got really excited. It was like, Link, this doesn't affect the results at all. You've already lost.
We did a lot of booing on this one. I remember a lot of boos on this one.
Yeah.
I was very excited for this one, though. Watching our friend on the Thunderdome was quite amusing as well during this match because
losing her little mind.
Yeah, bless her. She really enjoyed it. It was
she
good.
forgot we were there until we started speaking a bit, and then she's like, "Oh,
they can still see me. Damn it!" No, it was really fun. It was really fun, and
but again,
I love Sami Zayn, so I was happy with this.
A continuation.
Yeah.
So they're gonna carry on. They will, like I said,
do you know what?
fight forever.
What? For some reason, this is a weird one because I think it was more to continue the story between Kevin Owens and Apollo Crews than it was to continue the story between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which is bizarre because obviously Apollo Crews wasn't even on the show.
I'm not even sure that they barely showed him in the
the hype package.
Yeah. Very odd. And Link went Sami Zayn. Me and Pete both went Kevin.
Because I'm intelligent.
You're not intelligent enough, though, mate.
I am, because I won.
You're not, though.
I won this one.
I won
You won that one. I'll give you that one.
Mad. I didn't get all of the others wrong.
No, I did. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
Well, a bad match. It was a good couple of spots.
I got this one right too.
You did, but we were all super dumb, and we will say that. Not one of us mentioned that it could come about because of
disqualification. Yeah.
And out of all of them, that's why they didn't put it in a cell. And we were saying this should have been in a cell. Well, they're not putting it in a cell because otherwise you can't get DQ'd in a cell. So it was one way to keep it on the rear. Enhances the thing. Continuation. Yeah. But the fact that we ended up with this one as a DQ and then the final match, so obviously you both got that because you were thinking Charlotte was going to get a pinfall and win the title. She got the.
She still won.
She still won. Of course, she still won. She got the DQ win, but doesn't walk away with the title. Yeah, because we had the DQ in that. A bit frustrating that we ended up, like I said, with the roll up on the next one in the main event, Bobby Lashley versus Drew. It was a long match. I was going to say, it felt like a long match. It was 25 minutes long.
I got this one right too, Pete.
Oh, so did I.
So did Pete.
Sorry, so I just wanted to point out, because you said I've got them all wrong.
You got another two right.
I got most of them. I got a lot right.
Who said you got them all wrong?
Pete did.
Oh, did he? Oh, I missed that one, sorry. Yeah.
Have you two guys seen the pictures that come out today of Drew's back?
Well,
Yes.
I haven't, but I expect it don't look good.
I imagine they'll probably be on stream for you guys now.
I hate you. The thing is, what I'll probably do is it's probably going to still be laid out like our predictions was the other day, so it'll just be here the entire time. We'll see.
Not letting it in now. I was still right.
It looked very, 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 very sore.
I bet. I absolutely bet.
His back looked like Swiss cheese, mate. He looked like he'd been. Wolverine.
You see yesterday.
I'm Sabretooth! Wolverine! Sabretooth! Wolverine!
You commented, look at the marks on his back, and a couple of hours after they've really set in and the bruising.
Yeah, his back looks awful.
Yeah. The world's fully...
Also, whose hand is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just put that up on screen right now.
Yeah.
Whose hand is that? Whose hand is that?
So is this still Swoggle's? Swoggle never actually left the under the ring after the Rumble.
I heard it was
and him signing with other companies and wrestling elsewhere. It's just all fake. It's all fake.
Hashtag whose hand is that?
I heard it was Mark Henry's child's come back and going to make his debut.
just holds the chair. Just holds the things out of the way.
So it's not someone's hand. It's just hand.
Hand, yeah.
Hand's making his debut.
No, because we've seen Hand when he was growing up. He was massive. It was just a big hand.
I've seen Hand when he was growing up. He was in the Addams family.
No, that was it.
No, it was a hand.
No, it was hand.
It was the one with all the hair. It was hand. It was called hand.
It was Thing. Thing.
Ah, it was called Thing. Yeah, it was called Thing. And he just ran around with just a hand. It was just sort of from about there, wasn't it? Had a little bit. Had a little stumpy bit. He could have wore a watch and that was about it.
Could have been called wrist instead of hand.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Do you know what, lads? This is the only one that I think probably wasn't a continuation. No, not bananas. I think this is the only one that wasn't a continuation.
No, this was the only one that wasn't actually an end of a rivalry.
I think so. I think so. For the time being, I think we'll have another one this year. I think they'll come back to it later in the year. I think it will be for the time being.
I don't know.
But then, who's it going to be?
I think it's going to be the Money in the Bank. He's going to win that, and he's going to say he wants to cash in, and Bobby will say, "You're not allowed," and it will come. It's good. I want the Money in the Bank. I can cash it in. It's a contract for any title.
The annoying thing is, we filmed this 2 hours, but we're filming this right now. It's currently 2 hours before, or 3 hours before Raw starts. So by the time this comes out, I probably have a good idea about whether this continues or not.
I have a theory.
You have a theory.
I actually think that Drew might be about to take some time off.
I mean, he's been wrestling non-stop for God knows how long.
Yeah, I genuinely think Drew might be about to take some time off for a little while.
Having said that, most of the rest of this card at some point has taken a break recently. Like in the last year or so. Every single one of them. Apart from Drew, yeah, that's mad.
So I think Drew might be about to take some time off. Yeah. Just the words, because you obviously saw the post with him when he was injured and stuff. The words that he put with that picture were something like along the lines of, "Oh, I've been doing this quite a long time now, and I guess I've got to take a little break. I'm off this road for a while or something." Which obviously, because he's off the title hunt picture until Bobby loses it, so he's off for a while. So that's where my theory is on that anyway.
Fair.
And I was thinking today, do you know what? My favourite bit of this pay-per-view wasn't any of the matches.
Boo. It was me saying boo.
It was still Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee's brilliant.
Every little bit that he was coming out with. And even the bit where he was giving Sami Zayn the headphones and the mic to try and speak into it.
Do you know what? I was watching SmackDown last week, and during one of the entrances, I can't remember whose entrance it was. Pat McAfee literally stood up on the announce table, was dancing to the announce table, dancing to the music. He's just so passionate about it and enjoys what he's doing and enjoys the wrestling. And it just got such a thirst for the knowledge of what everything is as well. And he's learning so fast. Absolutely incredible. I really, really love Pat McAfee. I want nothing but good things for the guy because he's.
The thing was, I was gutted when I took him over as announcer, and I was like, "What a waste!" But it's not. He's done really well.
He's a highlight every week.
But
he really is.
I do want to see him appear in a match or two.
Oh hell yeah! After watching him wrestle, because no way do I not want to see him wrestle again.
My assumption is the fact that they sort of taken him off of. They put him on commentary, and then whilst he's obviously not working, they're doing a lot more training with him.
They'll be rounding him out a bit more as well, giving him the commentary so he's got more, I was going to say more charisma, but I don't think that guy can get any more charisma.
I'd like to see something with him and The Miz.
Do you know what I could see him doing? I could see him doing sort of similar thing, sort of MVP spot. So it could be a manager for people most of the time, but when needs to be, jump in and actually wrestle the matches. Yeah, great on the mic. I could see it. I could see it happening.
Works for me. The guy's incredible. He really is. Like I don't think there's I don't think I can say enough nice things about the man. He's incredible.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. As a whole, lads. So we'll go just have a little quick recap for a bit of because what we usually do. How would you grade Double or Nothing, Link? Going back to Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing was a great pay-per-view. I don't know about grades and stuff, but great pay-per-view. Really enjoyed it. In
comparison to NXT, let's go to NXT then. That's obviously both of you. Maybe not comparing
them. All right, okay. NXT was okay.
It was all right.
So we got great, okay, sort of. So yeah.
Yeah, it was solid, but it wasn't NXT standard solid. If that makes sense.
Was
Like,
it
obviously,
was it a better in your house show than the last one?
well, everything's better in your house show than the last one. That was absolutely appalling. Anybody who thinks the last in your house was good is wrong. Very, very
I
wrong.
really like the
Johnny
sort
Gargano had the
I've got
goddamn
to say,
key
Dan,
I really like
in his
the
shorts
door.
and complained about being locked out.
Dan, I've got to say,
Stupid
on-
spot.
on In Your House, Johnny Gargano's match, he come out, he turned around, shut the door, and Link's face was a picture just in case he went to lock it. He didn't. He just turned around and shut the door this time.
Yeah,
and walked away.
on purpose though, fully though, like because they know damn well when they get the fans don't like something that happened in the matches, and they do it. They do it just to give themselves a little laugh backstage, don't they?
It was the
Let's be
way
real.
Bailey done that last night with the Nintendo sticks that were pre-taped
Yes.
up in the middle.
Yeah. And then Michael Cole goes, "This is because," she goes, "They were watching. They know."
Michael, they know, they watch.
So then we'll go to Hell in a Cell. Again, I put this probably in between those on grading wise. It was middly okay. There was good things. Wasn't appalling.
Yeah,
I
I'd put it halfway.
the ending was just a bit deflating. That's all.
Yeah, it was late and it was long.
The thing was, we were tired, so I don't know if that affected it. But
I think it will have affected it. All the matches were solid. All the matches were solid. There was nothing.
I'm never the fan.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of when the main events are roll up though. That's always been the case though. So I mean, there's that. But that's why I'd probably just say, like I said, the ending was deflating. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's by design as much as anything. You know, Bobby Lashley's a heel. They don't want you to be enjoying those matches as much. I know that sounds stupid, but it's a way that they do that sort of thing to try and get them more heat.
But the funny thing is, because I've hated Bobby Lashley and I've just not rated him even slightly for so long, I want to actually enjoy his matches now. And because they deflate me, I'm like, yeah, just no.
Maybe I should stop watching again. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
I get it.
Really frustrating.
I'm the same, to be fair. I hated Bobby Lashley for the longest time. He was so boring.
Mm-hmm.
But I really am enjoying this run.
I was going to say, he still would be if it wasn't for MVP. Anything else?
MVP who you didn't want them teamed up at one point.
No. I didn't say that I didn't want him back wrestling at all because he's past it, and he's like. This is from personal experience down here. He looked rough as houses. He was injured continuously. He had to cancel a lot of bookings through injury or just injury. I cannot prefer a lot of them were can't be asked sort of situations because he was MVP. And that is again, no. Don't particularly wash with me, but obviously he's great on the mic and always has been. One of the best US champions of all time. So
his series of Matt Hardy was incredible, I must admit.
Yeah, it's just a case of pass the hill. Nice little Rumble appearance. I was hoping that was all it'd be. I'm glad that they sort of saw the light that. I think they went okay. Maybe we won't make him wrestle all the time because
he got injured.
He did, yeah. But also the fact I think he was always gonna be stepping back from the wrestling after was it Raw after Rumble.
He done the Rumble and then made the appearance.
He
wrestled on the Raw after, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, he was supposed to be retiring after that. To be fair, he wasn't even supposed to be doing the Raw after Rumble. He was supposed to be done. That was. Yeah, like I don't think he'd signed a contract at that point even.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, anything to add on this tonight, lads?
Do you know what? I've enjoyed wrestling.
Good.
I've enjoyed wrestling in the last month or so. It has been fun. I tell you what, I will add.
I've just forgot all of something. We haven't even mentioned that Pete actually won it, and now that you and me have to do the punishments for the predictions. So Pete
I'm trying to avoid that.
Started to not enjoy wrestling again now.
Yeah. So over on our Will It Blend last episode, the last video that we have on our channel before this one, guys. Comment on there. What I say. Watch the video. It's a good laugh. There's some shocking editing in it. That's
awful.
That's so bad that it gets a laugh.
Awful.
But listen to what I say on there. Give the instructions, and then put your choices in the comments on there. But yeah, I mean, Link have to do that one. Pete gets to avoid it. Well done, Pete.
Hey.
I'm not bitter, Pete. Well done, mate. You're the wimp that couldn't handle cheese, so it probably is the right decision that you couldn't be the bad one.
Definitely. Give it to the person that's really struggling with the Willet blends.
I struggled with one, mate.
Yes, one more than me.
You both struggled with the first one because of the consistency. So don't give me that crap.
No, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It wasn't bad to eat. It was hard to get down. There's a difference. Yours was hard to keep down. On the last one.
Oh, because it was so bad.
But if I remember, Dan used the words
Awful.
"be as bad as you want" this time.
Yeah, be as bad as you want. Be as bad as you want. Do it. And now that Link's shaking his head, and that's how I like to finish every podcast, we will. Well, please leave a like, share, subscribe. If you've got this far, then fair bloody play. We're nearly an hour and a quarter in. Congrats.
I was going to say, just thank you to everyone that's still watching us and supporting us here, Twitch, Facebook, everywhere else. You know, you guys, like I say, we have been here a year now. We wouldn't still be here if nobody was watching.
Do you like our TikTok? If you've come from our TikTok, the TikTok will be back soon.
Oh yeah, TikTok exists.
Maybe. I actually can't promise that. I will at some point. But...
He will look.
I'll look at it. TikTok's yeah. TikTok, innit?
We spoke about TikTok.
But genuinely, thank you to everyone that is still around, still watching. Thank you to all the new people that have joined us on this journey. Yeah, we're massively enjoying it. We're enjoying all of our other series over here on YouTube, and we're not going anywhere. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And we will catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace. Boo!
Boo! Pete, that was really weird. You went before Link that time. You normally go after Pete.
I know.
That Link was odd.
Boo!
Peace.